what do Falcons do? We rise up and rise past the misery of a terrible loss this past week. Welcome to RiseUpRXNs, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the Golden Hard Doc, and a lifelong sports fan. Coming back to you today. It's Thursday. I gotta make some picks. This has been a really long week. I don't have access to the pick'em at work. They decided they're gonna ban that some time ago for whatever reason. They'll allow ESPN, but they won't allow that. If my work colleagues are watching that, who are on the security team, why? But either way, my last video about how this has been a pure pain week for me has blown up. It's almost at 400 views at the time of making this video. Thank you to the new subscribers. I have 195 of you guys now. It means the world to me. I guess the equation to getting more people to subscribe is just have soul-wrenching losses and absolute nightmare situations. I think that's the key to getting people to watch my videos. But thank you guys to those of you who joined. Appreciate you joining the community. Tell your friends about us. We're trying to grow, trying to get up to about 500 by the end of the year. But we'll go ahead and jump into the picks. Went 9-5 last week. My overall total is 83-53. Not terrible, but not great. I was better at this time last year. But we'll just go ahead and jump right in. First off, you have the Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. Sorry, I'm having to look at my phone for this one. These are two bad teams, both of them. It really doesn't matter what happens here, because no matter what happens, Chicago benefits. If they beat the Carolina Panthers, they get closer to the first overall pick because of the Panthers trading them their pick. If they lose the game, well, Panthers are still probably going to have a high-end pick, if not the number 2 overall or number 1 overall. So they're still going to be sitting in the top 5 at the end of this with picks no matter what. The only team that's going to suck no matter what is Carolina, because guess what? You traded your pick away. With that said, I don't know if Justin Fields is in this game or not. If he's in this game, I'm picking the Bears. Even if he's not, it's in Chicago, and I just have a little bit more faith in their run game. Overall, I have a little bit more faith in the Chicago Bears. Carolina Panthers are a bad team right now, and they need a lot of help to get better. But give me the Chicago Bears right here. Then we're going to go to the final. I apologize. I messed this up last week. I really thought the Miami Chiefs game was the final international game for the year. And that was really because I forgot about this game. I just completely forgot that Indianapolis was going to have to play New England in Frankfurt, Germany. Because who gives a crap about this game if you're outside of these two fan bases? Yeah, if I got to pick a team, Indianapolis has been really resilient this year. They are better than I thought they were going to be. They're still competitive in the AFC South, surprisingly, even with the loss of Anthony Richardson for the year. I think they could have a winning record if they had Anthony Richardson. I think he would be making a case alongside C.J. Stroud for Offensive Rookie of the Year. The New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, enjoy your final tour, because I don't see you coming back. I think they actually did sign him for this, but the fans are got to be calm for his head at this point. Man, give me the Indianapolis Colts here. I don't love this pick, but just give it to me that way. Then we have the Houston Texans 4-4 at the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati coming off of a great win. They're coming off of 5 in a row, and I really don't think they lose this week. Houston, good team. I want to be very clear. Houston, you are much better than I thought you were going to be, and you are building for the future. I think you are going to be a really good team within the next couple of years, and you're going to be threatening for the playoffs and threatening for a Super Bowl behind C.J. Stroud and this offense. Amazing fourth quarter comeback. Last 45-second comeback against Tampa Bay. Thank you for that, by the way. We appreciate that in the NFC South. It helped keep us in second place instead of tied for second place. So we really genuinely appreciate that. But give me the Bengals here. I just do think in Cincinnati, with a healthy Joe Burrow, with all of his weapons, it's going to be tough. I look for this to be a really good game. And if the Falcons game was not at 1 o'clock, this is one that I'd be really excited to watch. Then we have the New Orleans Saints at the Minnesota Vikings. Shoot me now. My God, can I hate two teams any more than I hate both of these teams this week? I don't know who to pick here. America seems to think Josh Dobbs is going to play some backyard football and find a way to win. No. That only happens against the Falcons because we don't know what we're doing from a head coaching standpoint. I do think the New Orleans Saints have that a little bit better put together, and I think that Josh Dobbs is still not overall a great player for them. I think the Saints are going to be better overall. I know it's in Minnesota. I just really, nothing would please me more than Minnesota to win this game, just to knock the Saints down a peg and make that game a little bit better for us on Thanksgiving weekend when we have to go, or we have to have them at our stadium to play them for whoever's going to be first in the division. But I'm still going to go ahead and pick the Saints here. I think they're going to win. It's a bad week for these two teams to play each other because I do not like either one of them. Then we're going to move on to the Green Bay Packers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh, you are one of the most uninspiring offenses in the league until the fourth quarter. Green Bay, you're just one of the most uninspiring offenses. I'm sorry, Tom Grassi, I love you. I love your channel. Appreciate meeting you this summer. I can't pick your team in good conscience here. You're going up against TJ Watt. You're going up against a really solid Pittsburgh defense in Pittsburgh, and you're a bad team this year. Welcome to purgatory. Welcome to the absolute HE double hockey sticks that is mediocrity and underperforming in the NFL. That is where the Green Bay Packers are now. Pittsburgh Steelers are usually above that 500 mark. They've been a solid enough team, and I think they're going to be 6-3 at the end of this week. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then we have the Tennessee Titans going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tennessee playing pretty well against a tough defense on Thursday Night Football, having a long rest this past week. Even though they did lose that game, Will Levis still not looking bad, looking like a solid rookie option here. Falcons made him look real good. Steelers at least gave him some trouble. But with that in mind, Tampa Bay, I don't think is a very good team overall. They had a big offensive showing this past week, but couldn't get it done at the end. Lost to C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans in the last 45 seconds. I think the Tennessee Titans, surprisingly, are a better team right now, this moment. And with that in mind, I'm going to pick the Titans to win this game. I think they're both bad teams, but it's not really a tank bowl, but it's a pseudo tank bowl. Neither of these teams are going to win their division, but they both have a shot still theoretically to get into the postseason, though it's a very slim shot. Give me the Tennessee Titans here to be 4-5 at the end of the week, just because I want the NFC South. I would rather get some distance between Tampa Bay. Then we're going to go San Francisco 49ers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, so Jacksonville, number one in their division. Pretty good team overall. Their record is 6-2. 49ers are on a 3-game losing streak. This is going to be a really good game. And I actually lied. The Falcons are playing at 4. I forgot about that, so I apologize for anybody who said that I told them they were the 1 o'clock game earlier in this video. San Francisco, this is going to be a really good game. I am picking the 49ers purely because I think their defense, with the addition of Montez Sweat, is going to be really stinking good now that he's had a solid week and a half to be there. They went up against the Cincinnati Bengals last week, a healthy Bengals, and I think that's a hard team to go up against no matter what. And I still think that the San Francisco 49ers are a good team overall, and I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are overperforming. With that in mind, give me the San Francisco 49ers. Then you have the solid, probably number 1 defense, Cleveland Browns, going up against a really good offense in the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be a good game. I don't know how to tell it any other way. This is the 1 o'clock game of the week. Cleveland Browns, I hope you lose because you don't have Nick Chubb and you've got a guy who has had his shoulder massaged pretty well. Coming back for you at quarterback, played decently well last week. Deshaun Watson, if you can't catch my drift there. The Baltimore Ravens, though, just look good. They put over 400 yards of offense up this past week. It's in Baltimore. Because it's in Baltimore, give me the Ravens. I do think this is going to be one of those like 20-17 games when it's all said and done. They'll really smash mouth football and a lot of tough long drives to have to get scoring. I don't think there's going to be a lot of huge plays, but I could be wrong about that. Then we move into the 4 o'clock slot. Let's go with the Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray is coming back. How many ways can the Falcons lose? That is the name of the game, being a Falcons fan. How many heartbreaking, gut-wrenching ways can the Falcons lose football games? That's all I know to say here, because I am a man of my word. America is picking the Falcons 87-13%. I want to pick the Falcons with all of my heart. I want to pick the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to win this game. But I swore in my last video, for those of you who watched it, thank you again to those of you who subscribed because of it, I swore to you I was going to pick the Arizona Cardinals, because guess what? I got to do something to break up the voodoo magic that has been spread over the Falcons offense and defense. And if that means picking against them just to try and break a curse, I hope I go 13-1, and this is the one this week. Give me the Arizona Cardinals, begrudgingly trying to reverse the curse, get rid of the voodoo magic. I want the Falcons to win. Give me the Cardinals purely to break whatever voodoo magic has been cast against my Falcons. Let's move on, because this is giving me a heart attack even just talking about it. Let's go to the Detroit Lions at the LA Chargers. Detroit, I think you're a really good football team. You're using Jahmyr Gibbs incredibly well. That said, you are an East Coast time zone team having to travel to the West Coast. That is never easy, and the Chargers are coming off of 2 straight wins, back to 4-4, being competitive in their division. Now, I look for this to be a fairly mixed bag in terms of who shows up to SoFi Stadium, but even with that in mind, I do give a slight edge this week. For whatever reason, I feel it in my gut. I just have this slight gut feeling that the Chargers are going to win. I could be very wrong about this. I want to be a Lions fan this year, but I could be very off. I just really have this gut feeling that the Chargers are going to be 5-4 at the end of this week, and that you're going to have a little bit tighter division race with the Minnesota Vikings. Moving on, then we have a 4 o'clock matchup, New York Giants at Dallas Cowboys. Do I need to talk about this game? No, I do not. Dallas Cowboys. Dallas, if you blow this, oh boy, I cannot wait to watch any of the many YouTube channels next week. GPS, Brandon Perna, That's Good Sports, Tom Grossi, any of them, 5 Points Vids, and Scooter Magruder. Oh my gosh, Your Name Tree, all the guys of Clickbait Sports, they will have a field day at Scooter Magruder's expense, and I kind of hope it happens for Bedlam, but I can't in good conscience pick the New York Giants. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. Then we have another 4 o'clock matchup. We have the Washington Commies at the Seattle Seahawks. Similar issue, you have a team that is almost as far on the East Coast as you can go, going to a team almost as far on the West Coast as you can go. Seattle Seahawks getting shut down this past week against the Baltimore Ravens. I do think it being in Seattle will help tremendously. The Washington Commies are not a bad team when Sam Howell has time to throw the ball. That was very obvious watching him. And with that in mind, I am going to pick the Seattle Seahawks. I do think this is going to be a closer game than people give it credit for. I don't do spreads, but I would imagine the spread on this is probably about 6 or 7 points. I would take probably Washington with points on that. But give me the Seattle Seahawks here. Then we have, God, is this really Sunday Night Football? How did this not get flexed out? We have the New York Jets at the Oakland Raiders. Sorry, Las Vegas Raiders, whatever they are. Is this really Sunday Night Football? Is this what people are subjected to? Oh, Lord. So, Raiders played really well this last week. Played above their station. The Jets are still finding ways to be competitive. They're 4-4, and America has pretty much said that this is a 50-50 split. I like the talent on both sides of the ball in terms of skill positions and defense for the Jets much better than I like the same positions for the Raiders. I do think the Raiders have a better overall wide receiver in Devontae Adams over Garrett Wilson. I don't think either team has good quarterback play. I know it's in Las Vegas, but give me the Jets. I just really feel like the Jets are going to win this game. It's not going to be particularly good. Then we go to the Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. 96% of America is picking the Buffalo Bills. 96% of America. And I don't know why, but I just really feel in my soul, even though they play better against the Bengals, I feel like the Bills are in a downward spiral. They are vulnerable right now. They have gone loss, win, whatever, for the last 5 weeks, going 2-3. They've lost to the Jaguars. They've lost to the Patriots. They've lost to the Bengals. They barely, they came out and fired on all cylinders against the Buccaneers, and they had a struggle win against the Giants. They probably shouldn't have won that game. Something is still wrong with the Buffalo Bills. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. I am actually going to pick the Denver Broncos. I am going to be in the 4%. I think something snapped with the Denver Broncos. I think they have done something tremendous. I don't know. There's something there. I feel like they have found a way to turn it around with their win against the Chiefs coming off of a bye. It's in Buffalo. but they have had rest, and I just feel something special about this. This is my like random pick of the week. So give me the Denver Broncos here. I want the Bills to succeed because I have a lot of shares of Josh Allen in fantasy. But for whatever reason, give me the Denver Broncos here. And guys, that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for joining me for the misery of my last video. I'll link that here if you haven't already seen it. It's probably my best video that I've done for viewing purposes here in the recent past. But, as always, rise up.